8.76%, that's our number of the day. It's also the amount, the percentage by which electricity prices in South Africa are going to go up if you are an Eskom client by April 1st, and if you a municipal client by the 1st of July. And the tragedy, Melissa, is that we could have been paying a lot less, right?
Yes, and that's going to take out an even bigger chunk out of our monthly salaries, because we do also have to take into account that our salaries aren't increasing by 5% or by 8%. It's probably going to increase by less than 3%.
Correct, because the Reserve Bank is targeting inflation at 3%. Inflation is currently hovering at about 3.5, 3.6%. And here you're going to have an increase that's, more than double that amount for electricity. So, everyone's going to be left with a lot less money in their pockets.
I think the big thing here is as well, if we take a look at the broader municipal issues, is that sometimes we don't even have water, we don't even have electricity. Now you're asking us to pay money, but we're not always receiving that service. Another interesting point is, and I was wondering if that could also have been taken into account, is the fact that Eskom's, let's call it, their client base is getting smaller and smaller and smaller as more people do go to solar now. And if this is somehow, some way to recoup those losses.
Well, solar's made a big impact in terms of the amount of power that's produced. In fact, it's almost tragic, if you think about it, that we were forced to convert to solar. So many people, well, those that have. But it's also, from a clean energy perspective, really, really good. But as you point out, the downfall is that we now have a lot less people dependent on Eskom. And, at these increases, the dilemma is that from a manufacturing point of view as well, South African goods become a lot more expensive because businesses pay a lot more for electricity.
Exactly. And I think the reason for this now sudden other increase, the fact that there was this bundle up with the sum that Nersa made, I almost feel like that's not a good enough excuse. It should have then either been phased in slowly or with a smaller increase. But you mentioned it earlier, was what, 5.3?
5.36%
Yeah,
is what we should have been paying.
Which is already too much.
Correct.
And now it's going to at over 8%. It's like it's a more than 3% increase. For what?
Melissa, at some point in South Africa, I, for one, would certainly like cheaper energy prices.
Yes.
We could get it if we built a lot more coal-powered stations because we have an abundance of coal which we could use. And, we could build more Modupis and Cosilias and hope there isn't corruption and we build them quickly and within budget. What do you think of that?
Ooh. I think it is an option. And I know one of the Eskom people recently said that their aim is to get us cheaper electricity. But are they first just going to take all our money and then say, oh, here's some cheaper electricity? We do have to think about the environment. Yes, nuclear is quite expensive. Solar, wind, that's quite noisy. So everything has got its downfall. But at this point, I just don't think the South African consumer can take any more of these increases, because if this year's one is over 8%, next year's one is going to be equal to that.
Well, I guess that's a conversation for a dinner table, right? Cheaper energy or cleaner energy, whatever the case, the number for today is 8.76%. That's how much electricity prices in South Africa will be going up by this year.